What's up? Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me again. Today, I'm gonna do a long-awaited Q&A, and I'm gonna get real. I asked for the best questions over on my Instagram. Well, I actually asked for the juiciest questions over on my Instagram, Jenna Can't Lose, and here we go. Let's rock. I don't like those long intros, so let's just get to it, right? Okay, so the first question, I actually wrote them down instead of reading them because I got over 1,000 responses. So these are the ones that kind of jumped out at me. So the first question is, does getting recognized affect going out? It always has affected going out for me. I think a lot of people don't really realize that I have a lot of social anxiety, which I think may be weird to some people because I lived my whole entire young life up until my mid-30s in the limelight and being recognized and being on TV and being on radio and this and that. But to be honest, I'm just gonna lay it out there. I'm a great actress. A lot of that was just me trying to push past my issues. I did it from the time I was very young. I think because growing up, my father moved us around a lot, so I was always in brand new schools. I had to make friends, every year, new friends every year. So I was able to kind of, morph into the person that I felt like people wanted me to be. So now that I'm older and I don't care who people want me to be, I don't really like going out a lot. I like staying home with my family. I love, being alone. I love being alone. I mean, let me just be real. I love to be alone. I do get a little bit of anxiety when I have to go to the beach, and I know it's a busy weekend and it's going to be crazy. I just know that I'm gonna have to do autographs or take pictures, and sometimes it's just hard for me to handle it without getting stressed. But I do it. I always do autographs, I always do pictures, but that's why I limit my time in very crowded places. So it is what it is, right? All right, next question. Is Battelle going to public school? How do I feel about homeschooling, all that kind of thing? Well, anybody who knows me knows that I am not down for the whole public school curriculum action. To me, I think it's an insane waste of time. They overwork our kids. They don't give them enough time of exploring and playing and becoming who they are as little people. So homeschooling to me seems like the right end game for me and Battelle. But I think I think the first thing people will say is oh, what about socialization? No, school is not socialization. To me, kids are being subjected to fear, bullying, lockdowns because of school shootings. They're being taught curriculums that I don't agree with. I just don't agree with some of the things that are being taught, especially in California. So I've kind of figured out an idea that I'm going to homeschool, and I'm also going to put Battelle in GAN, which is I can do a part-time. It's a Jewish school. so she can learn about her heritage and Hebrew and all these kind of good things. So that's my idea right now. She's only 2, so we have a bit of time. But right now we work on a lot of homeschooling. She's so good at everything. Like when it comes to like her alphabet and her speech, everything's coming along nicely. So I'm excited about that. Leave your comments down below on how you feel about public schooling and private schooling and homeschooling. I would really like to hear your ideas. Okay, so next, oh God, you guys come with the fire on these questions. Like, it's stressful, but so imperative to talk about. Biggest fear. I don't know if that, to me, that's stressful. My biggest fear is death. And I think it comes from having so much death at such a young age in my family. My mom died when I was 2.5 from malignant melanoma, which I've done some research on why this happened to her, and I really feel it was because her side job, she was a showgirl in Las Vegas, you know, the girls with the big feathers and sass. Her side job was an x-ray technician. So back in those days, they didn't protect themselves. So I think my mom ended up getting very ill and dying very quickly because of that. So my youngest memories were of my mom being in pain and dying. And it's so hard for me to think about because my mom died at the same age that I was, that Battelle is now. And yeah, it's hard. So I think death really, it scares me. Not for me, but for those around me. So let's just cut that there. I get so emotional. It's crazy. Even at 44 years old, my mother's death still affects me so majorly. Losing a parent, there's like, I think the worst thing is losing a child, but losing parents, no matter how old you are, it's devastating and it's hard to get over. My father's death, I think, like, really thrashed me. So having, you know, both parents gone has been really hard. So I think that it's affected my fear level when it comes to death. I just don't want to ever leave my children parentless. So there's that. Okay. Get it together, girl. Okay. Okay, here's another pretty hardcore question. How to quiet the pain in voices from the past. I get a lot of questions like this about how do you deal with all your issues from the past, and how do you quiet those voices? Well, you don't. You don't. It's so important to work through those issues, and it's hard to do. It's hard to face, but you have to work through them and not avoid them. When you stuff them down, things get ugly. So I deal with my issues now. I don't hide them. I don't use drugs or alcohol in order to mask them. When they're happening inside me, I deal with them. I talk about them. Thank God I have such an amazing man that gets it. He gets it. I think having someone to communicate your processing to be able to communicate to your significant other is so important. And if you don't have that, talk to a family member, talk to a friend. Being able to just communicate it and work through it is so important. So there's that. Okay, is the light like kind of crazy good or kind of crazy bad? Is that a little better? Okay, here we go. Okay, so next, why did I quit porn? Because I'm old. No, seriously. When I decided to quit porn was at the height of my career, and I always said to myself that I wanted to go out when I was number one. It's like that Michael Jordan complex. I wanted to make sure that I was at the top of my game when I said enough is enough. And I also was very focused on a family. I have wanted children and a really intact family from the time I was very young. And I tried that with my ex, Jay, who I still love to this day. I think he's a fantastic guy, super smart. We tried to have babies. It didn't work out. We had a devastating miscarriage. And I think that business really got in the way of our relationship because we were so incredibly successful with Club Jenna, and I just was so overworked, and I just threw the towel in. And you know, there are some regrets there, for sure. You know, I'll leave it at that. Okay. Okay. More tattoos. Okay, this is a big question with a lot of people. Are you gonna get more tattoos? Well, if it were up to me, absolutely, because the back of my arms are still undone. I need to get that finished to finish my sleeves out. I also would love to finish this hand, so we have matching hands. But I'm kind of like, I don't know, I'm just trying to figure it out when it comes to my faith. Yeah, tattoos are, I just don't really know. I absolutely love being tattooed, but I also equate my tattoos with, I turned 40 and I feel like that was like my midlife crisis. I also was going through a lot of issues with my ex and my, custody battle and all those kind of things. And I think that I have a way of acting out when it comes to figuring things out. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know how to verbalize that. Yeah, so I want more tattoos, but I haven't worked through the idea of how or if I will. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. This is a good question. How do I get along with Lior's ex-wife and our co-parenting situation? Okay, I'm so blessed. She and I are very good friends. We talk a lot, even though she speaks primarily Hebrew and I speak a little bit of Hebrew. But we have such a healthy relationship, and she loves how I parent her kids when they're here, and I absolutely adore them. Like, I adore Lior's kids and her kids. They're like my own. So the fact that we have such a mutual trust it's important to me, and I adore her. I absolutely adore her. So I think that a lot of parents need to really put aside their feelings and think about the children, because when Liam, Kai, and Milan are here, it's heaven. Batel is so happy with her brothers. And I will say this, I pray every single night that I am able to do this with Tito, Amber, and my sons. I pray for it, and so does Lior. I hope you pray for it too, because it needs to happen. All right, so let's see. Somebody asked me about conspiracy theories. That's a whole another video. So, yeah. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Okay, so I get a lot of questions about my parenting style with Batel and how I stay so patient and these kind of things. And bottom line, I really think it comes from my age and the fact that I raised twins, twin boys, and I think Batel is going to be my last child, so I really try to be there. I want to be present in every single milestone, everything that she thinks and finds to be amazing. I want to feel that with her. I want connection, and I want to make sure that she is raised the way I wanted to be raised by my mother. So I think about it often, how things would have been different if my mom were here. And I feel like I am being the mother that my mother would have been to me. Okay. Favorite tattoo. Let's lighten it up, girl. Let's lighten it up. Favorite tattoo. I will say that my sleeves are my favorite. Like, I love everything. I thought everything out in such detail. So most of my artwork is done by Nico Hurtado, who is, I think, one of the best in the world. This one is by Sass Christian, and I think this may be my favorite. It's just such an interesting, beautiful, such a great tattoo. This is Sass Christian. Also, she's a artist, Sass Christian, and this is Brian Verbados. This is me. This is me. This was supposed to show like the bad side of me and the good side of me. So there's that. Anyway, I love my tattoos. I know this is kind of a hot topic with a lot of people on YouTube. I get a lot of comments saying you like screwed yourself up, this and that. But bottom line is, I got tattooed because I love tattoos and I wanted it. And I waited till I was 40, girl. Let a girl live, okay? How has Judaism changed me? So I converted quite a few years ago. It was a long, hard process, about a year and a half. And I think what is so beautiful about Judaism is the family aspect of faith, of spending time together, of praying together, of teaching of teaching the Torah to your children, and it's just such a beautiful thing, and it's something that grounds me. It helps in my sobriety, and yeah, it really has helped me. It's helped me a lot. So I get like anyway, yes. So my conversion was something that really changed things for me, like in reflection. When I think about like my past and how I dealt with things, there was never a faith-based answer. Now I'm able to look at my past and my future and apply God, and it's made all the difference. It really has. So no matter what you choose to do when it comes to that, it's definitely something to explore, at least think about, and acknowledge. Anyway, okay, so that I thought this was going to be like a bright, sunny, fun Q&A, but it got kind of deep. But I hope that you enjoyed, and I feel like maybe I should do more of these, because I got so many questions, so many good questions. And I just wanted to thank you guys for joining me on this journey. This is so much fun. I feel like I'm connecting to you guys more than ever. So please continue to come back. I think I'm going to start doing these every couple weeks. I think it's important for you guys to kind of get to know who I am as a person and how I'm evolving. So I love you guys. Thanks for sticking around. Please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.